Welcome back to a new season, AFT Dice Season 10. The roar of the crowd echoes across the nation as the AFT Dice League returns for its 10th season, kicking off on Friday, August the 15th, 2025. The air is thick with anticipation. The dice are polished and the stakes are higher than ever. At Metricon Stadium, St Kilda Premiership flag from their heart-stopping Season 9 grand final triumph over the Gold Coast Suns 95-89 unfurls under the bright lights and a reminder of their dominance in this game of chance and strategy where every goal and behind hinges on the roll of the die. No victory is certain and every team starts anew. From the sun-soaked Metricon Stadium to the electric atmosphere of the MCG, round one promises chaos and glory. The Gold Coast Suns, still stinging from their grand final defeat, face Port Adelaide in a bid to reclaim their fire. Fremantle and West Coast reignite their fierce Western Derby revival at the Optus Stadium, while Geelong and Hawthorn clash in a finals rematch at GMHBA Stadium. Dice ready to rewrite their story. Collingwood, Carlton, and Melbourne aim to climb from mid-table, while underdogs like Richmond and Adelaide dream of defying the odds. In the AFT Dice League, form guides are only half the story. Random rolls can turn giants into underdogs and into heroes. As 18 teams prepare to battle across 9 iconic venues, fans brace for upsets, nail-biters, and moments of pure, unpredictable magic. The dice are cast for Season 10. Who will rise and who will fall? Let round one begin. All right, match of the round is Sydney versus Melbourne at the SCG. Let's go to the first game. It is Gold Coast Suns versus Port Adelaide at Metricon Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter for this match. Can the Gold Coast Suns get a win after their loss against St Kilda in the grand final for Season 9? And the Gold Coast Suns have kicked 4-5, Port Adelaide 1-1. So the Gold Coast are up by 22 points in this game. Second quarter underway. Halftime siren has gone, and the Gold Coast Suns have kicked 6-5. Okay, let's. The halftime, Gold Coast are leading by 48 points. All right, let's get stuck into the second half of this game, Gold Coast, Port Adelaide. And the third quarter is underway. The siren has gone, and the Gold Coast Suns have kicked 1-1 to Port Adelaide 3-4. Go the last quarter. This game, 33 points down, Port Adelaide. Quarter four. Gold Coast have won this game as the siren goes. 26-point victory to the Gold Coast Suns against Port Adelaide. The final scores, Gold Coast 14-13-97 to Port Adelaide 10-11-71. All right, let's get stuck into the second game. It is Collingwood versus the Giants at the MCG. Let's get stuck into it. First quarter underway. First quarter's completed, and Collingwood have kicked 6 goals, 3 to Giants, 5-4. 5 points of difference to the Magpies. Second quarter underway in this game. It's playing at the MCG. Collingwood have kicked 6 goals, 3 in that second quarter. The Giants 1-5, and it is 33 points the difference, 78-45. Collingwood's way. Second half underway. Third quarter. Who will get out of the blocks after halftime? And Collingwood have kicked 4 goals, 1 to the Giants, 2-4. And at three-quarter time, Collingwood are up by 42 points, 103-61. Let's go to the last quarter. This is exciting. Collingwood have got a win on the board in the first round by 37 points. They are top of the ladder at the moment. So the Giants final score 10-19-79 to Collingwood 18-8, 116. All right, let's get stuck into the next game. It is Geelong versus Hawthorn, the rematch of the finals against these two sides at GMHBA Stadium. The Cats, they've kicked 6 goals, 5 to Hawthorn, 2-6. And the Cats are leading by 23 points already, 41-18. Second quarter underway in this game. Sirens gone for halftime, and the Cats have kicked 6 goals, 4 to Hawthorn, 3-6. And it is 39 points the difference to Geelong, 81-42. Let's go to the third quarter of this match. Third quarter underway. And the Cats have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Hawthorn, 1-4. And it is 66 points the difference. Geelong's way, 118-52. Let's go to the last quarter. Can Geelong win by a big margin in round one, which will put them on top of the ladder? So Geelong they've won by 68 points. They won the last quarter by 2 points, 5-3, 5-1. Final score, Geelong 23-13, 151 to Hawthorn 11-17, 83. So Geelong are on top of the ladder. Let's go to the next game. It is Sydney versus Melbourne at the SCG. What a 3 games it has been. There have been teams that have just come out of the blocks. Melbourne, they've kicked 6 goals, 339 to Sydney, 139. So Melbourne are up by 5 goals. Second quarter underway. Half-time, Sirens gone, and Melbourne have kicked 2 goals, 2 to Sydney, 1-5. And it is 33 points the difference at half-time. Melbourne's way, 53-20. Third quarter has started. This game, the Sirens gone, and Sydney have kicked 5 goals, 2 to Melbourne, 3-2. And at three-quarter time, Melbourne are leading by 21 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who will get up in this game. Will it be another thrashing, or will it be close? No. Melbourne have won by 42 points. They kicked 4 goals, 5 to Sydney, 1-2. Final score, Sydney 8-12-60 to Melbourne 15-12, 102. So they've won by 42 points. So that puts Melbourne in second spot. Let's go to the next game. It is Brisbane Lions versus North Melbourne at the Gabba. Brisbane, they bowed out in the finals in the first week. And North Melbourne did not make the finals in season 9. So Brisbane, first quarter, they've kicked 4-1 to North Melbourne 5-1. 6 points the difference to North Melbourne. Second quarter underway. At halftime, Brisbane, they've kicked 3 goals, 1 to North Melbourne, 1-5. So they're up at halftime by 2 points, 44 to 42. Let's get stuck into the second half of this game. Will the Lions get up or the Kangaroos get a victory away from home? Well, North Melbourne, they've kicked 6 goals, 4 after halftime to Brisbane, 2-1. And it looks like North Melbourne's going to win this game. They are 25 points up. Let's get stuck into the last quarter. And the final siren's gone, and North Melbourne have won by 28 points. North Melbourne, they kick 4-2 in the last quarter to Brisbane 3-5. So the final score is Brisbane 12-8-80 to North Melbourne 16-12, 108. All right, let's get into the next game. It is Adelaide Crows versus Carlton at Adelaide Oval. Can the Crows get up in a thriller, or can Carlton get over the line away from home? The Crows have kicked 6 goals, 4 to Carlton 5-6 in that first quarter. So it's 4 points the difference. Let's get stuck into the second quarter. Siren has gone for the halftime, and Adelaide, they've kicked 6 goals, 2 to Carlton 6-5. And at halftime, Crows are up by 1 point, 78 to 77. Can be a close one. Let's go to the third quarter for this match. Third quarter has completed, and the Adelaide Crows have kicked 6 goals, 5 to Carlton 3-4, and it is 20 points the difference. Let's get going into the last quarter for this match. And the final siren's gone, and Adelaide Crows have won by 32 points. Adelaide, big score, 24 goals, 12, 156. To Carlton, 18 goals, 16, 124. So big scores, but Adelaide win by 32 points. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Fremantle versus West Coast Eagles, the Western Derby. Who is going to get over the line for this one? Fremantle, they've kicked 6 goals, 1 to West Coast 5-4. 3 points the difference. Second quarter underway in this game. Second quarter's completed, and the Fremantle Dockers have kicked 2 goals, 3 to West Coast 5 goals, 4. And at half time, West Coast are up by 16 points. Let's go to the third quarter for this game. Siren sounded for three-quarter time, and the Fremantle Dockers have won by 1 point, 2-5 to 2-4. And it is 15 points the difference to West Coast, 84 to 69. Last quarter underway. Who will get the chocolates for this game? And the Fremantle Dockers have just got over the line by 2 points. They were a force in season 9, and they've just escaped with a 2 point win over the West Coast Eagles in the last few minutes. Final score, Fremantle 15-12, 102 to West Coast 14-16, 100. Let's get stuck into the second last game of the first round for season 10. It is St Kilda versus Richmond. Let's get stuck into it. At the moment, match of the round for round 2 is Melbourne versus the Cats. First versus second. And the first quarter's completed. St Kilda have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Richmond 2-3. Can the Tigers get to the finals in season 10. Last season, it was their first time out of the finals on the bottom of the ladder too. St Kilda, second quarter, they've kicked 5-6 to Richmond 6-4. Half time, Richmond are down by 16 points, 55-71. Third quarter underway. And St Kilda have kicked 3-3 to Richmond 1-6. And it is 25 points the difference. Last quarter underway in this game. The final siren's gone and St Kilda's won by 30 points. St Kilda 15-18, 108 to Richmond 10-18, 78. All right, let's get stuck into the last game of the first round of the season for season 10. First quarter, siren has gone, and the Western Bulldogs have kicked 6-6 to Essendon 3-3. So it is 21 points difference to the Western Bulldogs. 42-21. Second quarter. Siren has sounded for half time, and the Western Bulldogs have kicked 5-2 to Essendon 4-6, and it is 23 points the difference. Bulldogs 74 to Essendon 51. Third quarter underway. Siren has gone for the third quarter. So it's completed. And the Western Bulldogs have kicked 2-3 to Essendon 6-2. And at three-quarter time, Essendon have come back with a vengeance, and it is 89 apiece. Going into the last quarter, it is a level 89. 13-11, 89. Last quarter for the round one, and in the end, Western Bulldogs have won by 17 points. They kicked 4-5 to Essendon 1-6. Well, that completes round one for season 10. There was a few high scores. Margins just got out a little bit. And we've got in the top four, we've got Geelong, Melbourne, Collingwood, and St Kilda. So St Kilda are in the top four, and then we've got Gold Coast in fifth, North Melbourne in sixth, Adelaide Crows in seventh, and Western Bulldogs in eighth. And then we've got Hawthorn on the bottom of the ladder. So round two match of the round is Melbourne versus Geelong. And as we see it, Geelong are minor premiership at the moment with the Hawks with the wooden spoon. So that is the completion of round one for season 10. We will see you next time for round two. This is going to be an exciting season. We'll see you next time.